This one's just a down spiral. For the down spiraling, take comfort in the void.
Oh, Martin, would you mind putting on the new record that I got? Yeah, I just feel like listening to something a little more melancholic. Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes you're just under the weather. It's been quite a while since I played chess, Martin. I'm really looking forward to catching up with the game. I found some checker pieces, Martin. I love checker pieces. I love playing checkers. It was my favorite game as a kid. But frankly, I just don't have anyone else to play with. Not anymore. Not since the war. The war took away all of my playmates. One by one, they fell and never stood up again. But you know, you can't even complain about it because it's just like, you stop complaining about it and everyone tells you, oh, stop complaining. They tell me, moaning Mary. And I say, well, how am I moaning Mary if I'm just complaining about things that hurt my feelings? But they just tell me, everyone's gone through it. Just move on along. Your life can't stop. But I feel like it has. I'm gonna move these checker pieces to the bottom right box, Martin. Okay. Melancholic Mary, moaning Mary. And I'm often called a very miserable girl. Bones swashbuckle people around. You can't help but feel sad about it. Otherwise, you're nothing more than one of these many people being swashbuckled around and confused about their surroundings. I know what's going on, and I want to cry about it. sometimes I just start feeling the textures of life. Just to remind me that not everything has to be bad. It's like a little pick-me-up. Martin, do you happen to know if there's anyone I can... I just want someone to play with, that's all. Everyone keeps partying. They think everything's a big old roar, a big old... Hello, my name's Mary. I came here to, get you distracted a little bit from the party going on inside. And I was wondering if you wanted to play a little chess with me. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Do you ever feel like... No, never mind. Do you want to be black or white? I quite enjoy being black. It reminds me of the void. Oh, it'll reference back to my original question, which was, and before I even got the chance to say it, do you ever feel like everyone parties to distract themselves from the existential crisis impending all of us? Do you feel like people just want to indulge in sensual pleasures because it prevents them from falling headfirst into the rotted hole of thought? Is that why we are expected to just do things, go to work, have children, get married, do things that'll distract us from our time? Because if we start thinking, we'll realize that everything's so hollow. Everything's just artificial. But I don't mean to bore you. I just mean to play with you. So, have you ever played chess before? Well, I like to think of it as a huge game of life. Isn't life a huge game of strategy? I like to think so. So, to give you a simple rundown of the game of chess, these little men here, they're your pawns. This is your king, the one with the cross on it. Your queen stands beside him. Your bishops on either side of the royalty. Your knights right here. And your rooks are right here. Now the aim of the game is to kill the king on the opposite side. Yes. So, if all of your pieces end up dying, or if I end up killing all of your pawns, all of your bishops, all of your rooks, and your queen, as long as your king is still alive, for some reason, you're still in the game. But yet, if your king dies, but you still have all of your other pieces, for some reason you lose. I wonder if this game was based around the idea that only those in leadership try to remind us that their lives are the only ones that matter. Anyways, I'm going to move my pawn first. When you move your pawn, you can go only one step forward, or you can take two, but this is only in the beginning. Usually, you only take one step forward like this. You only go in a straight line. But if I end up, for example, having your piece here and my piece here, and we start crossing paths a little bit, I can go diagonally and eat your piece and take it from you. Likewise, you can do the same to me. However, as the game progresses, you'll realize that there's some moves where you would just rather my pawn keep going forward, because if yours is here and, for example, my bishop is here, the bishop can go diagonally all around the board, but only diagonally. So if my bishop is here and I see your pawn, I can eat your pawn. So that means that I take your pawn after you take my pawn. So it's an even trade, but sometimes it won't be so even. So let's begin. As the game progresses, I'll tell you more and more. Okay? So tell me a little bit about yourself. Yeah, you go first since you're new here. Choose any of your pawns and bring them forward, either 1 or 2 spaces. It's all up to you. Do you want me to do it? Okay. This one right here. Move this one. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where do you come from? Interesting. Do you want me to keep in your pieces? Okay, I can do that. I'll try not to cheat. Where I come from, I don't know if obviously you've heard of Chicago, right? Yeah. With all of its skyscrapers and all of that. Mary from Chicago. I'm quite famous over there. What do? I just walk. Oh, it's my turn. Yeah, I'm just a walker. Now you see, I have my bishop right here, which means that if you move this pawn, I'll kill your king. So you shouldn't move this pawn. But in reality, is this pawn not a human shield to protect the king? Strange how we assign value to different lives. Oh, I know, it's just a game. I should stop being so thoughtful. So, I come from Chicago, and I like walking around. I often hitchhike, and yeah, that's what I know for. Hitchhike. But I decided that I wanted to make a visit here. I decided to go to Boulder, Colorado, because of the new hotel that opened up. And I just wanted to experience what everyone was talking about, the huge gap in town. I really wanted to see what the whole fuss was about. Was it mine or yours? I think it was yours. You too? Yeah, I don't know, I'm not a really big party person. I like going to parties, but I like sitting at the parties and just watching the people exist. I quite enjoy watching people exist. I just want to see how they interact with others and what sort of false airs they put on to hide their primitive instinct. The idea that there's some sort of sophisticated modern person in the 1920s. I mean, this is the modern age, but it isn't as swank as you think it would be. You see, after everything that happened in the previous decade, and after all the advancements that we've been making in the previous couple of decades, I can't help but think that there's something catastrophic coming, and I don't know what it is, and I'm scared of what might come. But knowing that something's coming means that I avoid any shock when it does come. Hopefully. What's my turn? Okay. I'm going to move my rook. Yeah. I'll move my rook right here. Perfect. Here, I'll move your piece too. Alright now, I shouldn't be so obsessive about everything that's happened, but I mean, so much has happened. I mean, people are now partying and roaring, and alcohol is flowing, and there's booze everywhere. Speaking of which, I have a nice collection here if you like some. Would you like a little cigarette here? I have a nice cigarette box here if you'd like some. Do you want some? No? Okay, that's fine. No coughing for you. Okay. How about, some Quattro? I have a nice bottle of 1849 Quattro, finely aged. Would you like that? I can serve it to you. Yeah, no problem. I guess it would be a huge problem. I also have a beautiful flask here. I think this is 20 years old or so. What's it? Yeah. That's okay. Yeah, it's perfectly okay. Just give me a moment, please. I just want to be left alone with my thoughts. Do you ever feel like the reason they banned liquor and booze is because they knew the reality they created was too much for anyone to bear? And they wanted us to just experience the brutal, harsh reality of existence without any substances. I think that's why they did it to us. They created a war. They created a war for 4 years. And then they created a pandemic for 2 or 3 years. And we suffered so much. And then they try to tell us to be happy and merry. Sometimes sadness, sometimes melancholy are the most comfortable things to just sit in for a while. I don't want to be denied my sadness. I don't want to be constantly told to be happy. It's not healthy. I just want to sit here and think. I want to sit here and wonder where we went so wrong and find my own comfort, hopefully someday. The idea that I must be constantly happy is just not for me. Are you sure you don't want to drink? I'm afraid that this is the only liquor that I can give you. I'm afraid that they, took all the other liquor from us. But that's the inconvenience of coming to speak anything I was not. Because truth be told, the only reason I came here was because I knew there would be booze. Granted, obviously in Chicago there's always booze with Al Capone going around and whatnot. But I just want to travel the world. But each time I visit a new place, I realize it's no more different than where I left. And I have to just find something to fill the hole in my heart, realizing that the goodness of humanity isn't profitable. Thus, we try to stifle, control, and destroy it as much as possible. And I just don't know how I feel about that. Are you sure you don't want it? Just a quick sip. Fair enough. Fair enough. How did you spend your New Year's? Yeah. I find that my New Year's was also quite lonely. I think it was my turn. Can I move your night here? Yeah, moving the night is fun because it's always so interesting. How was your Christmas? Your first Christmas home? Were you in the war? That's what I thought. I could just tell that you were in the war. Do you feel like you see dead people all around you now? I do. I'm constantly haunted now. It's your turn. I think I'm going to move this piece. I think I'm going to move this. This one right here. Dead people all around me. Death is supposed to be a natural thing, but you see, the reason it feels so painful, in my opinion, is because death in this world is not treated like a spiritual passage into a new form. It's not treated like a transmutation of energy, a wondrous passage. It's treated like a utensil. You died for a purpose, you died for a cause, you died for a reason. The only reason you should die is because you've lived a long and beautiful life. You've learned all of your lessons, you've grown, you've become a new person. And becoming a new person means that in your next life you're going to become an even better person. But no. Instead, they say you're a soldier. They say you're a patient. They say you're an alcoholic. They say you're a horrible thing. They label you. And you believe it. And you die for it. I'd say that I'm a driver. I'm a driver. And now I'm a walker. I just walk through life. As the little minute hand on the clock moves, so do I. My turn. I just ate your bishop. Now you could eat my bishop, but oh, fiddlesticks. I was gonna make a move, but I forgot to move my knight. You can eat my even. We killed each other's religions. We killed each other's faiths. I don't think it's weird that there's so many atheists and agnostics in the world, people who don't believe in God, people who have rejected religion now. For when they see the face of war, for when they see a pandemic, you can't help but realize that there is no God that is all good, all-knowing, and all-loving. Those three attributes in the face of such injustice does not exist. People try to make excuses, but the excuses they make remind me of excuses people make for their politicians. No, but you don't understand. No, but what he meant was. No, but you see, what you're not understanding is, I perfectly understand. I perfectly know. Sometimes what seems to be is what it is. And from what I've seen is that, like all politicians, God is a false God. And I refuse to believe in falsities when they try to capitalize on me and use me for their own purposes. Yes. We've killed each other's gods. We've killed each other's religions. It's only a matter of time before we kill each other's kings and decide that they were always useless to start with, and that the true power lies in the pawns that can become royalty, bishops, knights, and rooks as long as they reach the other side of the board. But wouldn't you end up having the same problem that you had with in the start? It's a never-ending cycle, isn't it? Anyways, it's my turn, isn't it? I think I'm gonna move this one right here. Your turn. I think you're gonna want to move your rook here, because otherwise I'm gonna eat him with my pawn. Okay. Remember in the beginning when I told you that if you want to eat like a pawn, that you would want to hesitate because in reality you could lose something more valuable. Well, you lost something more valuable. Your knight to my rook. Yeah, I truly do believe that valuable things are only valuable because we value them. It's an obvious sentence, isn't it? Something so, common sense. But then you look at the things that we value and you realize there's no inherent value to them. We value gold. We value possessions, such as new automobiles and fineries, jewelry, clothes, makeup, everything. But what do they give us? They don't even give us warmth. They don't give us enough sustenance. They don't give us anything. They just separate us from each other as a means of saying I'm more important than you because I have things all on top of me and you don't. And the things that you have are less than mine. But that's what we value. It's your turn. Let me see if I can get any pieces to help you out. Okay. I think I'm gonna move my rook right there. I would suggest moving your pawn forward just because you can threaten my rook this way. And then I'm gonna do this. Check. Your king is threatened. Yeah, if you don't move your king, I'm going to kill him. So, do you want to move him here? Or here? Or here? But you can't move him here. You have to move him here. Here. You see, if you move him here, then my bishop here is going to kill him. Yeah, it's an interesting question, isn't it? Did government kill religion? Or did religion kill government? Although there's a new third religion that's coming along, and that's profit. I wonder which one represents profit. I'm guessing the whole board is profit. Or maybe the queen's profit. Nonetheless, let me think about my move. What am I going to do? I think I'm going to... You have me tricked here. Ooh. My knight is stuck. Okay. I think I'm going to... Okay. Now you can move any piece on the board, but I would highly recommend you moving the queen over here so that you don't threaten my rook. Perfect. Now it's my turn. Do you see what I did there? Because your queen has my knight, I have your rook. So we're both gonna lose something here. Which means, did either of us really win? What's your move? Are you gonna take the rook or not? Very well. King forward. Do you want me to move this pawn here forward? Or which piece? Forward. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my queen over. Okay, now it's your turn. What piece do you want to move? Move this one forward. Okay. I have your queen. So you can either eat my pawn or move your queen before I eat her. Interesting move. Now, you can either eat my pawn, you can eat my bishop, or I would say eat my bishop. So, the queen killed off religion. And I'm finishing with your pawns. Okay, it's your turn. Okay. I'm going to move it over here. What do you want to do now? Move it forward. Okay. I'm gonna eat your queen. And you're gonna eat my rook. I'm left without a rook. Move this forward so you can either go here, 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 and that's about it. And I go here. So you're threatening my queen. Okay. I'm gonna go right here. Your turn. Move it back. And you take your pawn, check. You have to move your king somewhere where I can't eat him. Okay. Now your bishop can't move, otherwise your king is in check. So what are you gonna do? Now your king can't move unless you go right here. So what are you gonna do? Okay. Checkmate. Thank you for playing with me. Despite all the pawns, the rook, and the knight, unfortunately, your king has given himself so much value that, for some reason, despite the fact that everything else exists, the game is done for as soon as the king's life is threatened. Do you want to see this photo album I have of my past, of my memories? Okay. I'll show you it, but first let me just organize the pieces right back into the box, okay? Do you want to feel the fabric with me? The texture just reminds you how we're just innocent beings just want to experience the world like when we were children. Haven't you noticed that kids just oftentimes want to feel things and play with things and explore? It's school that programs us into being patriots or citizens, or divides us down to who's the enemy and who isn't. And because of that, I lost all of my playmates, and they lost me. I'm gonna organize these pieces. I'm gonna all flat organized. Okay. Okay. This should be one. These two. Like this. Put one down like this. Put one up. Put one down. One up. This. Put one down. Put one up. Same thing here. One up, one down, one up, one down. See? Isn't it all nice and neat and organized? Just here, right here, and right here, all nice and flat. Now, from my memories. Here are all of my baby photos. Some more of my baby photos with me and my siblings. These are some fun times. This is me when I was a toddler, along with my family. This was when I became, a little kid. And I went to school for the first time. I started crying here. You see me crying? I was crying so many tears because I didn't want to go. No child wants to go to school. They always cry about it. But yet we ignore their tears as if they're just tiny little signs of childhood and infancy. But in reality, maybe they're the most honest tears ever cried. That they're scared of what they're going to become, or rather they know that the conditions that we're placing them in are not conducive to their nature. And so they cry about it. Here I am, getting older. My smile is gone. And neutrality has taken over. As you can see, my personality is gone. I'm no longer as playful, but I still enjoy some merriment. Christmas in 1913. After the Titanic sunk, I was absolutely stunned. But I could never have imagined anything worse to come. He's my brother when he was deployed into the war, when my other brother was deployed into the war, and when my third brother, the third oldest, was deployed into the war. They never came back. I was the youngest of four. No sisters, no girls. My parents and I decided to just distract ourselves with some projects around the house, so we started decorating and redecorating the home as a distraction. Here's the Christmas of 1917. Yeah, none of my brothers were there. And by this point, they weren't on the earth anymore. They had died as soldiers, as opposed to dying as my brothers. This face of New Year's is clearly not a celebratory one. I don't think anyone had a fun New Year's or Christmas, but we still kept up the tradition as if that would give us some semblance of normalcy. In reality, it was just a hollow shell of the falsity we had been conditioned to live as a distraction from what this government was trying to do to our family and many other families. In 1919, I caught the Spanish flu, but I was okay, unlike a lot of people. They took a photo of me just to send to my grandma, just to show that yes, I'm safe and I'm not so critical. I put in the family book just because it's part of history, I guess. And then that's it. This is the last photo. It's a photo of me in my car, my new automobile. My parents decided that because I was their only child, and from, just wanting to carry on like nothing changed, they gave me my first automobile to just drive around and cruise around to clear my mind. And I did. I cruised around, and I most certainly cleared everything out of my head. But there's no more photos. No more photos. In fact, the last photo I was taken, hours later I heard the crowing of birds, and I heard the end of my, I heard dinging bells. And I felt dirt fall upon my face, and I felt myself being lowered into a hole, and I felt myself at peace, I guess. Although, if you can call this peace, then peace was never worth it. Those are my childhood memories. It's strange how if you don't take a photo of your memory, it's like it never happened. The only person who knows it happened was you. Annie, do you feel like everything is to your liking? Is the party all fun and jovial? I'm glad. Can you actually feel the happiness? Or is it just a fake smile that you plaster on your face because you think everyone around you is actually happy? That's what I thought. No one is truly happy. If you were, the world would feel more alive. It would feel much lighter. It would feel better. But I can feel the pain of everyone Anytime I meet someone new, I can feel their anguish and how they try to hide it. And I find offense at them trying to hide something from me. Because it just endorses this idea that we're all just gonna put on our mask and go on about our day, accepting everything that happens to us. And I guess if that's going to be the condition of life, I'll put on my mask too and pretend that everything's okay. Anyways, I've been enjoying my time at this hotel. It's been really lovely. I find that everyone here is a very sweet person, from the barman to the residents to have you met the keeper here? The groundskeeper? He's such a sweet man. Have you met his 2 daughters? They're so sweet, aren't they? Twin girls. Oh, so beautiful. They always ask me if I want to play with them. And it just reminds me of my childhood and how I wanted to play with them. And how I wanted to play with all of them. I always say no. But then they continue. They're like, are you sure you don't want to play with us? And I'm like, oh, sweeties, darlings. I'm sorry, but I just can't. I just need to be left alone now. But it's a great party, isn't it? It's a great party. Are you sure you don't want any alcohol? I think I have some red rum here. Somewhere around here. No alcohol for you. You're on a dry spell. That's fine. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name. What was your name again? Jack Torrance? It's lovely to meet you. My name is Mary, as I've already said, but some people call me Resurrection Mary. It's really nice to meet someone as sweet as you. It really is. I just often find that you don't find good people anymore. You really just don't. And I really wouldn't blame anyone that just decided to go a little mad. Just a little bit. With all of the horrors we live and are expected to just swallow. Everyone thinks that they have the number one reason to be upset. Oh, well, Al Capone and his crime scene. Oh, well, the Spanish flu. Oh, well, the war. Not knowing that there's going to be worse to come. I can feel it. I can feel it in my ribs. There's worse to come. There's always worse to come. We're never going to escape it. They're always going to come up with more things to torture us with. And they're gonna say, well, you know, they're trying to, your sheep, they're just trying to find how much you're going to listen to them. Our entire existence is like a marionette. And we're nothing but their puppets. The Great War. The war to end all wars. We believed it. But I don't believe it. I think there's another one coming. And I think there's more to come. More illnesses that they're going to ignore. And more deaths that they're going to make us suffer. And it's going to be a never-ending nightmare. And the only thing we can run to is these nonsensical parties all the time. And I'm so scared, Jack. I'm so scared. I just want it to end. I just want to be happy. But nonetheless, I think I'll go home now. Chicago. I live in Chicago. But I think I'm gonna go and watch walk home now. It was very lovely talking to you, Jack. Very lovely.